running a red light, doing a right turn, now continuing on 114th Street. A lot of traffic building in the area. It's approaching rush hour now, but we're still kind of doing these circles in the area. And you can see there those right side windows, both the right side passenger and the rear passenger, they have their windows down, so they're just kind of enjoying this joyride, it seems, as we continue doing almost circles around the Watson South LA area.
Yeah, these are
We're
the
going to
worst.
try and move Air 7 HD a little closer to this vehicle as it maneuvers through LAX airspace, but we will continue to keep an eye on this.
Wow, the worst type of pursuits that we don't want to see on surface streets, driving erratically like that, and especially this time of day when kids might be out in the street.
Looks like 5 LAPD units are continuing to keep a close distance, or at least keep a good distance on this vehicle to keep an eye on where he is, but not stay too close behind him to put any extra pressure on this vehicle. We are learning some additional information now that this is a reported stolen vehicle, so that makes it a little difficult for LAPD to figure out exactly who might be driving this vehicle, and that might be why LAPD is keeping a close eye on this and making sure they don't lose eyes on him without putting too much pressure on the driver. Now as we go eastbound on 105th Street. Now on the right side of the road, looks like going westbound on 92nd Street. Some of the roads in this area do provide for a little bit of safer traversing, although at these speeds with this erratic behavior, you can see they're using the center median to drive around traffic. Any of this driving is unsafe at this speed and at this magnitude. Looks like we're making a northbound turn on McKinley, left turn on 91st Street, staying in these residential areas as we go, looks like an eastbound turn on Avalon now, still driving at a high rate of speed and still swerving around other vehicles as these, looks like 3 suspects in a Hyundai continue their joyride through South LA, continuing on 89th Street now, westbound. And LAPD still considering this a tracking mode situation right now. They have their LAPD helicopter overhead, but they're keeping the units on the ground, keeping them at a distance while still following. So they have a lot of units in the area. They have other units that can kind of merge in and start to help out with a apprehension of these suspects. Looks like that vehicle almost got some air there as we continue at a high rate of speed on 88th Street westbound. Coming up on another intersection here. It looks like it's a red light. There's some oncoming traffic there. That suspect very smartly slows down, looking, and makes a right turn there, northbound on Main Street, and we've been on this street before. We're going to see what this suspect does. Hopefully there's not too much traffic on this street that this suspect has to deal with, and we're going to move Air 7 around to see if we can find out where this suspect turns after that. You can see the driver with just one hand on the steering wheel earlier, just going for, you know, afternoon joyride like any other as we approach some other oncoming traffic there, some cross traffic coming the other way, going westbound on San Pedro Street now. And you can see there's the driver, there's the passenger kind of making some gestures there, making a sharp right turn now on 89th Street. And from the damage to this vehicle, you can see that this driver doesn't care about damaging the vehicle and continuing on, because this vehicle's been in accidents before. We've seen him hit other things, possibly hit other vehicles, and that's something that LAPD, as we run through a stop sign there at 89th and Wadsworth, that's something that LAPD often has to deal with when pulling suspects over or performing traffic stops, is those tinted windows. Now we're making a right turn on Central again, so we're staying on these streets kind of between 85th and 95th, Central, Main, San Pedro, staying on all those general streets. This one looks a little bit of a wider street that this suspect can continue on, but it almost seems to me that this guy's maybe slowing down a little bit, and then just as I say that, he speeds up and continues westbound on Hooper, not really caring about where the lanes are, and a lot of traffic there waiting for the light. We're making a left turn westbound on 96th Street now, and we're just kind of staying in this same general area.
Certainly behaving like they're being pursued, so I think they know something's up and they need to get away, or at least try to.
Yeah, they are still in the mindset of getting away. They're not coming to a complete stop, and they're not giving up. We saw them stuck in that traffic earlier, and they just kind of waited it out, just kind of saw that the officers weren't immediately behind them. and waited for that traffic to move and carry on as we continue on Firth Boulevard, leaving 92nd Street, still at a high rate of speed, still driving dangerously around oncoming traffic and passing other vehicles. And we're hearing from the LAPD unit talking on one of the common air frequencies here that they are working on the assumption that the suspects possibly went inside this building. And as they continue to get ground units on the scene here, we're gathering further information.
Okay.
All right. This is Giovanna Lara joining David here on the desk now. And so we saw all three suspects run out of that vehicle, but only two suspects, we understand, are in that building potentially?
Yeah, David and Giovanna, this is the 2800 block of Willow Street, and you can see their LAPD officers have their weapons drawn on this apartment building there. That is where they believe that these couple of suspects have ran to after this wild pursuit. Let's take a look at some video here and see what this pursuit looked like earlier. We kind of stayed in the South LA area, didn't really go on freeways, but a lot of erratic driving, a lot of driving on the wrong way of the street, a lot of possibly sideswiping other vehicles.